Today on CCX News.
Your leadership is amazing.
Lawmakers in Plymouth share their stories about the night of the targeted attacks, how police responded to help them. Thank you for joining us. We're learning more about what local lawmakers experienced on June 14th when many representatives thought their lives were in danger. An assassin's targeted attacks killed Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband in their Brooklyn Park home and wounded Senator John Hoffman and his wife at their Champlin residence. Today, Jillian Cleveland has more on what lawmakers in Plymouth went through.
We will hear from our state legislatures.
At this week's Plymouth City Council meeting.
So I just want to quickly give you a little bit of an update on this legislative session.
Routine update from members of the Minnesota legislature turned into anything but.
To Chief Fadden, your voice is ever in my head.
When word spread that lawmakers were under attack, Plymouth police sprang into action to ensure the safety of the local delegation. And those legislators wanted to publicly acknowledge their work.
What was evident to me throughout the capture of this alleged gunman and murderer is how well prepared, professional, and genuinely kind our officers are to show up and to protect and to serve under these most chaotic and unpredictable circumstances.
Representative Ned Carroll was out of town on June 14th. But police escorted his wife to safety.
It is very traumatic. It is still traumatic, and it will be traumatic. And I've shed a lot of tears. We all have shed a lot of tears. And we owe you a debt of gratitude as well as your fellow officers.
Senator Bonnie Westland, meanwhile, had slept through the night.
Chief Fadden and our wonderful police department were at my house, and they were making sure I was safe.
A coordinated effort to provide some calm on a day filled with chaos and fear.
And you stayed in communication, and I really, really appreciate that. So does my wife.
We were all kept safe, and I just want you to know how much I appreciate that.
The incredible kindness that was shown to me and to our delegation will never leave me.
In Plymouth, Jillian Cleveland, CCX News.
Meanwhile, U.S. Representative Kelly Morrison, whose district includes Brooklyn Park, Maple Grove, and Plymouth, took to the House floor in Washington to make an impassioned plea to reject political violence.
Our words, our posts, our responses, they all carry weight and have serious consequences. This is our wake-up call. The escalation and normalization of violent rhetoric and political violence have gone way too far.
Morrison sponsored a bipartisan resolution that condemns the attacks on Minnesota lawmakers and calls for the rejection of political violence. You can see Morrison's full speech on our website, ccxmedia.org. In other news, the city of Osseo appointed a new council member this week. The city's former police chief, Tom Hartkopf, will take over the role. He replaces Juliana Holtstrom, who stepped down last month for health reasons following a car accident. Hartkopf will serve through the remainder of her term, which runs through the end of next year. City council members were split on whom to appoint. The vote was 2-2. In that case, the mayor holds the tie-breaking vote. There will be one fewer place for travelers to stay in Brooklyn Center after the city council revoked its hotel license. The reason, city staff say the hotel was offering medical services on site without the proper permits. Choice Hotels Suburban Studios offers extended hotel stays. The business partnered with a care company to offer medical services. That recuperative care company offers temporary housing to people experiencing homelessness after having surgery. City officials say they didn't check with the city and violated their hospitality license. The business owners disagreed, saying they were offering enhanced services as a part of a hotel's operation.
You've heard that the primary use of the property is and remains a hotel. There has been no change in land use here. Since its inception, the hotel has offered services and amenities beyond just a place to sleep.
The fact of the matter is that you did not follow proper procedures set by Brooklyn Center for Code.
The council voted 4-1 to revoke the license, but is giving medical patients time to find new housing first. Crystal is putting new development on hold in one of its main retail and commercial areas. City officials say it's part of a plan to re-envision what it might look like 25 years from now.
Their concern was that while they're working on this vision, some type of development could come in that would not be appropriate and consistent with the vision that they seek.
The City Council approved a one-year zoning moratorium for the shopping areas near Bass Lake Road and West Broadway. That means any plans to redevelop vacant sites like the old Walgreens building will be temporarily put on hold. City officials say market forces show that the area is ripe for future redevelopment. And while there's a relatively small number of vacant buildings available for lease, the parking lots offer more space. Officials say there's room in the lots for smaller standalone buildings or restaurants that are popular with developers.
You take an underutilized parking lot and the property owner says, you know what, I'm going to carve this out and put something more useful on that land. So at a minimum, I think we're going to see more of that kind of development to kind of mop up some of this excess parking lot space that we have in that area.
Routine projects like renovations or maintenance are not blocked by the moratorium. Music in Plymouth is coming up. Of course, the fireworks and performance by the Minnesota Orchestra is the big draw. The event draws thousands of people to the Hildy Performance Center. That happens on July 2nd. Leading up to that event is the Music in Plymouth 5K run. That happens on Saturday. The race starts at 8 in the Northwest Greenway Pavilion. While online registration is encouraged, there is same-day registration starting at 7. The race helps provide funding support for music in Plymouth.
One of the most successful high school football coaches in the northwest suburbs is returning to the school he led to a championship a decade ago. Jay Wilcox has more.
So what's the defense doing? They're coming in and out, and they know we're doing some read routes?
He's back. Former highly successful Osseo head football coach Derrin Lamker will return to that role this fall.
It feels great. Feels like I'm home. You know, District 279 is a special place. I raised my kids there, and they both went through 279, and 279's got 3 great high schools and a bunch of elementary schools, and it's a great place to raise your family.
Everyone was really excited. He's a great coach. He has a great history here, and everyone's just happy to have him back.
Everyone likes him, you know, definitely a nice guy, you know. We're all liking the way he coaches, all the new coaches he's brought in, and we all know his history and everything, so we're definitely ready to work and get better.
Lamker previously coached the Orioles for 11 seasons, leading them to a 74-39 record, 3 conference titles, 2 state appearances, and the state class 6A championship in his final season in 2015. And yes, that title gives him some credibility with current players.
Of course, you know, the state championship, you know, everyone has a belief in him and everything he's doing, you know, and that also that this team can win, you know, benefiting our future.
They know about it, but they were 6, 7, and 8 years old, so they probably maybe saw some highlights. And yeah, it's great, you know, and that's in the past, and hopefully now we can, you know, flip the page and work on some things and just kind of continue the program and keep it growing and getting as many athletes, student athletes out as we can.
After leaving Osseo, Lamker had a stint at Edina High School, and then the last 5 seasons was head coach at his alma mater, Augsburg. Returning to the high school ranks is something he thought would happen at some point.
You know, I thought eventually I would. You know, I really enjoyed my time in college, and I was there for 6 years, and I loved Augsburg, and I want nothing for the best for them. But I was really excited to come back, and Friday nights is something special, and be part of the whole high school experience.
He's getting to know some of the Orioles now, and Derrin Lamker's really looking forward to August 11th when fall practices begin. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
With the state clay target meet wrapping up last week, the 2025 spring sports season has come to an end. It'll be another month and a half before high school sports starts up again. But in the meantime, we here at CCX have a summer tournament that's just getting underway. Chaz Moots has more.
Hey CCX sports fans, this is Chaz Moots. For the past 10 months, we've covered some great teams, athletes, and championships. During this past high school sports season, you guys have helped us decide 36 Play of the Week winners, from touchdowns in the fall to goals in the winter and diving catches in the spring. There's been a lot of great plays. Now we want to crown a Play of the Year. We've taken the 36 Play of the Week winners and set up a randomized bracket. We'll post each matchup on our social media pages, and whoever earns the most votes will advance to the next round. Each round will have a set amount of time to vote. Be sure to follow the CCX Sports socials to stay up to date on each matchup. Good luck to all participants in this summer's CCX Play of the Year bracket.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.